Hello, today I'm going to demonstrate how to print a relief print. Here are some examples that I've done before. Let's get started. You will need some ink, a palette knife, a brayer, some rubber gloves, paper to print on, your actual carved block, and a baren or a wooden spoon. Take some ink out of your can and put it on the palette. I use a large sheet of glass as my palette. Make sure to get out a little more ink than you think you will actually need. Once you have your ink on your palette, it's important that you work the ink and make it very consistent. Simply scoop it up with a palette knife and then work it back and forth until I have a nice even consistency. Pick up your brayer and get a little ink on your brayer and then roll it out across the palette. You'll need to add a little more ink as you go. Roll it out, working in multiple directions until you have a nice, even consistency of ink. Now you're ready to ink up your block. Take your ink roller and roll it across your block. Go back to the palette and add more ink. Do this multiple times and in multiple directions until you have a nice, even coat of ink on your block. Now you're ready to print your plate. I like to do this in a separate location. So I place my block, and then I will get a piece of paper, centering that paper on top of the block, carefully laying it down, and then taking my baren or a wooden spoon, and I rub the back side of the paper, transferring the ink onto the paper. It's important to take your time and get nice, even, consistent pressure across all parts of the block. I'll hold the paper down with one hand and work half the block, and then I will go over to the other half of the block and rub it as well. And then I'll lift the paper up carefully and take a look at the print. And that's all it takes to print a relief print. My suggestion is cut yourself a block and give it a try.